Yeah. Moment of silence. Now scream to your lungs, high pitch. I mean, I'm all about the skrilla. Well, I guess that's about it. The root of happiness, absent for duty. I practiced abstinence for a week or two, but nothing was the same when I learned the game from a freak or two. They better add the king in front your name when they speak of you. And life is transparent, it ain't right unless you see it through. Cloudy vision, I cannot see the competition. I see the man in the mirror, and he clear.
All right. Check it. This is going to be the first episode of the Boyz to Gents podcast. The name Boyz to Gents was chosen because I wanted to show how we went from boys to men, but men's was already taken, obviously. So before I even get started, I want to introduce I'll let them introduce themselves. But first, I wanted them to be able to plug whatever they may have, because again, the Boyz to Gents is just not me. It's all my guys, and we want to use this platform to just promote success. So DJ, my guy, I know you got a podcast. Tell everybody where it's going to be at, when they can expect that, and what's it going to be about, my guy.
So right now it's all still in the works. We had to scale back and do some changes, making sure that we don't have the same name of as everybody else. So ours will come a little bit later. So more to come. But yeah, I go by a plethora of nicknames, but I mean, right now you just call me D Braxton.
Bet that. My guy Kelvin.
Yes, sir. I don't know. I'm pretty boring. I mean, compared to everybody else here.
Big facts.
Kelvin Thomas, 32 years old, married, 2 kids. Active duty military.
Yeah.
That's about it for me.
TJ.
Yeah, I go by Chef TJ, and make food into miracles. Or make miracles in the food. Did I say that right?
No, you didn't. But I mean, I got it. I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course, I'm Josh. Friends call me Nixon. So, good to go. So, we're going to go and get right into it. Nothing too deep. First thing I got to ask you guys, or if you think, I would say, why do you think people in general don't push information forward? Meaning feel like they got to hold it where they feel like only one person can be number one.
I don't know. I think it really just depends on what information you're talking about, because I think sometimes information is pushed forward, but I think, from what you're saying, like a lot of times people don't push that information forward because they maybe the information that you're talking about or that they holding on to hasn't bloomed into some type of financial profit for them, so they don't want to pass it on because it might boom in somebody else's hand, and now they just sitting there with just information, whereas somebody else then already monetized it. Or it ain't always money, it could also be promotions or whatever, you fame, whatever people chasing. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why.
Aye. Kelvin, TJ.
I basically agree with all of that. As far as people, I mean, I think that it's a dog eat dog world out there. Why would I give you the keys when there's still room to be milked? That's I think that's how just human nature, how we think. But as far as a culture, as our people, I think we do, pass it forward. But that's as we know information. There's a lot of information we don't have the keys to. So I think when we get it, I think we don't have too much of a problem passing it down. But at the same time, I see, with that being said, I see that we do. And that's just, a few different reasons, I think. I mean, I follow a lot of inspirational Black people that I look up, but it seems like they all dislike each other.
Yeah.
So I mean, that could be one thing, Even though we're on the same team, we're still ready to down each other because we don't agree the exact same.
Yeah. TJ, what you thought?
I don't know. I don't really agree with it because I know people do. So I agree with what Derek was saying as far as the monetization of it. But I mean, I've never had that issue. I can honestly say if I reached out, most times, 9 times out of 10, I got the information I needed. Especially if they had time. If I, they didn't give me information, it was only because they didn't have time. People got lives, wives, families, businesses, things of that nature.
Yeah. I would say for me, like, I guess I only noticed from work or some in life where it's just things as far as like I felt it was like generational, where it's just taught to us that there can only be like one top person. There can only be one GOAT. Like there can only be one of something. And I feel like it's enough where everybody can succeed, everybody can be successful. Like I feel like people wait so they can become successful first, like DJ was saying, and then pass it. But I also feel like it's enough money to where I can still help you and me at the same time, and we still be good. But that's just me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
I
that
agree with that.
analogy because, like, I seen on Facebook and just in general, like when people be like, you go down the bread aisle, it's a million different breads. You know what I'm saying? It's enough for everybody. You kind of just pick and choose the lane you want to be in. Because I mean, for instance, I cook, but shit, everybody cook. You feel me? So, I mean, they do. So, with that being said, you kind of just pick and choose that lane, and you go down that lane, and people gonna rock with you. They're gonna rock with you. If they not, they're not. But it's cool. Keep pushing.
And my thing is, I also feel like it's a lot of people that say they wish the best for you and really don't. Like, I think it's just something like nice to say. Like, I think it's just like
Definitely.
a lot of people is like, "Hey, brother, like I hope you're successful in things," when it's really not. And I think like if we can be like genuine and like we can push it forward, like bro, like we can really as a culture, as people, like we can really be successful.
Yeah, I think though, something I would add to that though is not that people don't want to see you do good, um, but it's just that comment phrase that you hear a lot. People want to see you doing good, just not better than them. You know what I'm saying? So um, it's kind of it's whack to an extent, but I mean, I don't know, man. It's kind of like what bro said earlier. It's a dog eat dog world. So I mean, not that you want somebody to fail, but in a lot of instances in with those situations, it's like a thing where you might feel like somebody got something that you were rightfully deserving of. You know what I'm saying? So not necessarily you didn't want them to have it, but you like, damn, I wish I could have had that too. You know what I'm saying? I wish we both could have had it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But that's just how the world works. People got to understand, like, just because you feel like you should have it, don't mean that you're gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the biggest things with, I mean, y'all know with us being in the military, you know what I'm saying? I supervise a lot of people and I had to explain to them all the time, like, look, bro, just because you feel like you good at your job don't mean that they gonna pick you for that promotion. You know what I mean? It don't work. In certain boxes you gotta check. You might have to beat somebody to check that box. You know what I'm saying? So that's where that sometimes the lines get blurry and shit where it get blurry where people might do stuff that might seem like they stabbing you in the back, or and a lot of times people know that they stabbing you in the back because they trying to beat you to that box to check it off so they can get it before you. It's kind of whack, definitely whack sometimes, but and then sometimes you got to understand, like, shit, in all things you do is gonna be some type of competition to it, so you can't lose your edge too. You trying to be the nice guy. Sometimes you got to have a little edge about it too.
And that's another thing, bro. You brought up a good point. Like my next thing is like healthy competition. Like I think we lost the art
Hmm.
in healthy competition where it's like I bring it like with us when we was all in the military, like it was good healthy competition that kept us all wanting to do better. Not
Hmm.
saying like, oh, I don't want you to do good, but it was like, okay, I see bro, he doing this, he's stepping up. Like I have to step my game up. Like there's good healthy competition where it's not like, oh, I feel I gotta stab you in the back to do this. Like I honestly believe, like I said, it could be wrong where it's like healthy competition doesn't have to always turn like negative, especially when it's with you guys. Like I feel like when it's with you guys, like it shouldn't turn to anything it shouldn't turn to.
True. Y'all got something, Thomas?
I ain't got nothing on that
TJ?
one. I ain't got nothing on that one. I'm just taking it all in.
Yeah, bad
Yeah,
facts.
I mean, I think you said it all. Yeah, I don't have anything to add.
Yeah, I'm about to say, bro, drop
What topics you got that we gonna disagree on?
It's the fun part.
Yeah, man. I'm all for, you know what I'm saying, agreeing and stuff, but I need some different opinions.
Okay. So, have everybody heard the new Tory Lanez album?
Definitely.
I haven't heard his newest one because he didn't drop 2 of them in the last few months.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I heard the immediate one that dropped where he was doing a whole lot of explaining. I didn't hear this most recent one, not because I'm boycotting him or nothing like that, but I just haven't heard it.
Okay.
TJ
Kelvin?
said he heard it. What about you, Thomas?
Yeah, Kelvin, you heard it?
I thought we were gonna go to something like LeBron versus Jordan or something. But,
we're gonna get to sports, man, of course. But
nah, I have not listened to it. I didn't even know he dropped the second one, really. But just going back to that first one that he dropped, but I'm gonna go back to the first one that he dropped a little bit after it happened or whatever, a few months later. That that situation. I don't know if he did it or not. You know what I mean? However, I heard a female side of the story, and she said he did, and it's just nothing for me to. With that, that's enough for me to currently right now say that I don't need to listen to it. I got plenty of music that I can listen to and feel comfortable with it, and that's just me. Yeah, if it comes out, that homie didn't do that, then I'll be here to say I apologize. You know what I mean, and go back to listening to it. But in the meantime, I don't think I need to. I personally don't. Whether he did or didn't, I don't like how he handled the situation after, meaning dropping not speaking on it for however long, what was it, months, and then coming out with an album to music to profit off of this whole situation. So but again, that's just me. What do y'all think?
I mean, wow. You already know how I feel about the situation, so my thing is,
I'm gonna go ahead and jump in there then. Look, so real quick question then. My first question to you, Kelvin, would be, I respect that. My only thing about that is, so, well, my question to you. So, would you listen? Are you opposed to listening to anything from Meg Thee Stallion?
I'm not opposed to it. That's not something I would listen to on a regular. I mean, before that whole situation happened, I wouldn't listen to her album.
Okay,
but if that was something I'm listening to, would I give it a chance? Is that what you're saying? Would I listen to it? Probably, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So, and the only reason I asked that is because I respect, because I in a lot of cases right now where the world is going, it's like the whole guideline, I guess you would say, is believe women. Women, they don't have no reason to lie and all of that stuff, right? That's basically what everybody goes by now, which that's fine. But my thing with that is, I don't know neither one of them personally. So one person is saying they didn't do it. The other person is saying that he did do it. So that means somebody is lying. So if I was to take the stance that I'm not listening to Dog until I hear, until we find out if he really did it or not, then I would also have to take the stance of saying, I'm not gonna listen to Meg either, because Dog's saying that you lying. So one of y'all lying, so I'm not gonna play. I'm not gonna pick a side, because if Meg was my sister, then yeah, I'm riding with Meg. I'm riding with my sister because I know her character, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? With that, that's what you say.
So what you just said, I mean, I don't two things on that. A, I don't think you could say, well, if that was my sister, I would do this, but since it's not, I would do this. Well, I think you got to open up every situation as if that person was related to you. You can't say like if you're now this is me. I mean, I don't think this is how the justice system is set up at all. But it's like, if I'm a judge, I should judge this person as if they did that to me. You know what I mean? We're in the medical field. We would treat this patient the same way we should treat this patient the same way as if that was our mother or brother or whatever. Um, so I think that's important. You should feel the same way no matter what the situation is. And B, I mean, another big reason why I guess it looks like I'm jumping off rip, just jumping to her side is you're like I said, I didn't like the way he handled the situation altogether. I know if I got a situation like that, I understand you don't, if there's some nonsense out there that people are saying, you don't have to entertain it, period. But if there is a police report filed, you went to jail, this is what the world is talking about. This is what's branding you. This is what's keeping you from coming outside, from speaking on social media, whatever things that you normally do. You should probably speak about it. So that makes you just off rip look guilty.
I was about to say,
So
oh,
go
I'm about
ahead.
to say, like
When
I
you got
said,
when you have go ahead.
go ahead, TJ.
I was just about to say, when you having legal issues going on, you can't talk about it. You can't.
So you can put an album out about it
True,
and
true
profit off
enough.
of it.
But and that much I understand that. But initially he was just quiet all the way around. He didn't say nothing. And the only
Yeah.
person that really was running their mouth about it was her. So I
And
think
I
at
would
some point
respect that but more if it just stated that, like, yo, I'm not going to speak on it, period. But
yeah, I
no,
mean
he decided to
that
drop the album.
that makes
And
sense,
then
but
and then on
that makes
top of that,
sense.
you do that during the whole Breonna Taylor situation going on.
Well, that part that's where I would have to, because I've seen that narrative, but I just think that's like, I think that's unfair to bring up, because he ain't that. The thing with Breonna Taylor was, a situation where police brutality or whatever, police reform and stuff, where we need to be talking about that. I don't think we should be lumping another, a domestic situation into that Breonna Taylor situation, because that Breonna Taylor situation was a situation where these officers of the law did not follow the code correctly, and it resulted in someone dying, not because somebody came in the house and had a beef with Breonna Taylor and wanted to smoke her. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say that and had he it, I feel like because this narrative is being spun, no matter when he would have done it, it would have always been like, well, Breonna Taylor, happened, and this is how y'all continue to treat black women, and I get it, but I just don't agree with that. Also, on top of that, with the Tory Lane situation, kind of to reel it back into what I was saying, I didn't think I understood why, after, if people continue to like beat your name or throw dirt on your name, eventually, yeah, I guess you do got to come out and say something. And I mean, to be fair, uh Meg on doing freestyles about it. Oh, I got shot and I ate that shit and all that, all that stuff she was saying. So I mean, to an extent, she was profiting off of. She didn't got a deal with I think it was Savage, with Rihanna's thing. So she's profiting off of her, whatever happened to her. Now, if it was a thing where she's profiting off of like someone harming her, or if she's profiting off of lying on somebody, she still profited as well. So that's why I'm like, well, once again, that's why I'm not going to treat that like that's my sister, because it's not. I don't know her, because then if I treat her like, oh, that's my sister, I'm taking her side. Then why wouldn't I treat
Tory like
Tory Lanez like that's my brother,
But
and I gotta also believe him. Whereas if the smart thing would do was to not pick a side at all, and that's it. Was, in my opinion, I don't my stance is I don't have one in it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a dog in the fight.
dang, I mean, I respect all of that, and I'm trying to remember. I mean, you said a lot that I want to address, and I'm trying to remember everything.
Ooh.
But I mean, going back to like, let's say that was your sister. You know, your sister can mess up, and you can still just be there for your sister, even if they, mess up, and you can, that ain't cool what you did. You know what I mean? I'm just throwing that out there.
But the
But as
damage
far
could
as
be
you
done.
said, but that don't mean that like, if that were my sister, I'm not going, you messed up, but I'm still riding for you. But yeah, the damage is done. But then you said that she profited off of. I mean, did she profit off of it? Before that happened, she was one of the biggest names out here. So she could have had that little deal she had going on at works already, or something like that. Um, and then, but yeah, was she profiting off of it, or was she? I mean, I seen her on Saturday Night Live. Maybe they booked her because of the situation. Maybe maybe had this in works already. But whenever she did it, I think what was in the background, she said like support Black women or something like that. I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, is it profiting off of it, or is it gaining support for that situation? Black women historically have been shitted on in this country. So,
I think Black
this
people
she
in
could be
general
turning this
have, though.
situation. Absolutely. Now she's turning this situation into, awareness now. You catch, you know, people do it all the time. Oh, I got cancer now. So now let me bring awareness to this cancer, and it raises a bunch of money and helps find a cure or something like that. She could, we're looking at it as one way when it could go the other as well.
I mean, but I think that could be said about the whole situation.
But I mean,
Like, we
two things
literally
can be
looking at
true
the.
here.
Yeah, no, I'm
That's
not
it.
necessarily. I'm just playing
Okay.
devil's advocate in the situation, because I think one of my biggest things I do want to address on that is, and I feel like this is gonna always be an unpopular topic, because I think people don't realize how much the media is spinning this narrative. I use narrative a lot, but just in general, I think this divide of the Black man, like this competition of the Black man versus the Black woman, is something that we absolutely have to. Yeah, because it's literally becoming like a war on a war of Black men
Within
versus Black
ourselves.
women.
Yeah, like an
Because
internal war. Yep.
yeah, because I just remember, I distinctly, and this blew the life out of me when George Floyd situation happened, and the Breonna Taylor situation happened right before that. Um, like, Black people, and then just America in general, but Black people specifically, was like all united on this on this front. Like, hey, y'all gotta do better. Not just white people, not just everybody gotta do better by us. You know what I'm saying? And then the Tory Lanez and Meg the Stallion situation happened, and it's like everybody just went to a side. And I was just like, this shit seemed
I
very
remember you saying
convenient.
something about that
Yeah, the
at the
situation
time.
seemed very, very convenient. Like, everybody, because you, of course, white feminists gonna stay with gonna side with Black women. You know what I'm saying? And Black men are at some point are gonna be tired of getting their character assassinated. I hear a lot of women, say like, "Oh, Black men don't protect us and they don't do this." I'm gonna tell you straight up. I got cousins, I got mothers, I got a wife. You know what I'm saying? And all of them, for sure, I got they back. So whenever I hear that, and I see all the men in my family the same way when it comes to the women in my family, and I don't really know too many. I can't say I know really anybody that's just like destructive towards Black women. Don't get me wrong, I know that it's a problem, but it's so many issues within our community. I don't think that it's fair to like jump that train and make it seem like that is the absolute problem, because a lot of that stuff is deeply rooted in a lot of issues that is way, way older than us. You know what I'm saying? The treatment of the Black woman, in the way that it's all a PTSD type thing. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, like, over the years, Black women were, and women in general, were used as just baby makers, and they weren't valued at all. black men were used as tools. You know what I'm saying? So black men at the same time being used as tools were also being, you know what I'm saying, emasculated in front of our women. So what do people do when they try to gain their power back? That's not an excuse, but
Yeah.
it's all a situation that I think it's deeper than to say that we don't take care of our women. I just think that the topic is like people just use it as a surface thing to kind of continue to divide us, and we at times we eat that shit up. I do too. At times I be sitting there, I get annoyed when I see women say that. I be like, "What? Hold on, you got 6 brothers that you got into it with you got into an argument with one dude and probably put 6 of your brothers on them, and then that dude beat your ass one time because y'all were being in a domestic dispute, and then you label all black men as people that don't take care of, you know what I'm saying, black women. You know what I'm saying? That's the part where I just be like, come on, man. You know, we all got to do better by each other.
Yeah, everything you said is 100% facts, I feel. But I mean, I think black people in America, we got a million issues in this country. A big one of them is how black women are treated. You know, that's, yes, how black people are treated, of course, but how black men are treated as well. But another one is how black women are treated, and that goes for how other people treat them, how we treat them, how they're underpaid, how, you know, the black woman is the most educated person in America, but is, you know, consistently the most shitted on, you know, from all aspects, you name it. So I mean, that's something to talk about. But yes, I understand you how of course we shouldn't divide. Of course, not all black men, you know, shit on our black women and things like that. But another thing you said earlier, like when I brought up how like one thing that annoyed me with the whole situation is how he dropped that. I mean, right when the Breonna Taylor thing was catching steam, or I mean, that was months ago, so I really don't remember the exact dates and all that.
They did. I
But
did hear that they actually said that he dropped it because it was either his mom's
mom's
birthday or his
birthday or
It was his
something.
mom's
mom's
that
death.
passed. It was her birthday.
Now,
Yeah.
yes, but you know, like that would make something if he was like Gucci, who dropped, you know, something every 10, 17, you know. But like you have dropped music not on that date, you know. So, but but the reason I say that is, you know, when Nipsey passed, what did people do? I think Schoolboy Q said, you know, this week is now Nipsey's. Nobody dropped music, so there was plenty of people who were ready to drop music on that time. A tragedy happened, so we paused it and we figured out ways to go around it. I think that's something that he should have done, and that would have took some of the heat off. That how I feel, at least, and people like me. How okay, you know, the situation happened. Now let me figure out a workaround. If I need to wait a week to drop how I felt, I already waited months anyway.
So
Or
are you
you know,
saying he should
whatever.
have dropped
Figure
it
out a
like?
workaround.
So are you saying like it should have been like a week later, or are you saying like he should have waited months? Because that would have been my question. Is like when would have been a
When would
good
I
time?
have been
Because
satisfied?
well, yeah, well, you or I mean, just in general, like what do you think would
I
have
can.
made more sense?
For me personally, I mean, there's a couple of different options. I personally think he chose the wrong, the most wrong one. Uh, one of them, I mean, he hasn't said anything this whole time because of legal reasons. Keep it that way. Let it be handled in courts. You know, forget what all these other people say and doing or whatever. You didn't care about it up to this point, but you used it to strictly to profit off of. That's how I feel. So, but if you wanted to drop music on it, and I heard that song with Queen and Slim, I mean, telling his side, and then I mean, it was a fire song. The dude is, you know, a lyrical genius. You know what I mean? Like he got hits. Um, so yeah, maybe if you wanted to drop music on it, drop that. Maybe a week later could have helped. Maybe, you know, been seen a little bit more, talk about it first. There's a couple of different options that he could have chose. I feel like that would have had me not feel as the way I do about the whole thing.
Let's say I honestly
Yeah,
don't. I don't think if he would have dropped it a week, 2 months, a year, like it would have made a difference because people had already had their mind made up. Because it's one of that we seen Meg first and she spoke, so we're gonna run with her. And like I look at it totally
And to
different
be
with
real,
the Breonna
sorry.
Taylor situation. Like although it's a tragedy, but I feel like my mom comes before that situation, regardless. And if I know that date, like although like I don't need an excuse. Like if I haven't dropped it this year or I've never dropped it on that date, that's still like I'm paying homage to my mom. And if I'm putting this music that I feel like is like gonna make her proud and things like that's a date like I could drop it on. Like I wouldn't expect other people to understand, but I don't feel I should be persecuted for dropping something on my mom's birthday.
Now, let me ask you this. With that being said, whenever, if hypothetically, obviously, Nipsey Hussle would have passed that week, do you think that he would have still put that out, even though that's the day of his mother's death? I don't
You
think
said
so. I think he
He
would have
wait.
could,
figured out
and
a
if he, but
workaround,
my
just like
thing is,
all
I
the
look at it
other
different. Even if he
artists.
did, I wouldn't have been like, "Oh, bro, bro, that don't take my
But
love away from
I
Nipsey."
mean,
You talking
but if
about the
you
tone?
can,
Like it was tone deaf, though, is what you getting at?
Yeah,
Like what he
yeah,
did
yeah,
was tone deaf.
and
Yeah,
then
I
and
mean,
then again on the profiting situation, bro said even in the songs, like most of his money stuff got lost. So if I'm gonna drop something, I hope to profit on it because I still have a kid. Like you said, I still have to pay these bills. I still have to do things.
you
So
got a legal process
yeah,
that's
I'm about to
about to
say I have to
explain.
pay for these lawyers.
Yeah.
Like I need
Yep.
money. So and then when someone is getting all these deals, I'm gonna say, was she big when? But this made her totally bigger. Like we seeing her
Yeah.
on Vogue. She on Times
I
magazine.
mean,
yeah.
and
There's
look
a
though,
reason
like
she was
for
on
instance,
Times. It's
hold on,
because of
real
this
quick.
situation.
One thing though, like for instance, why I say like it's like she profited as well. So the chick Drea, the social famous chick Drea, she made that whole comment about, oh, I wish I had a dude who was so in love with me, they shot me in the foot, like trying to be cute or whatever.
Yeah.
And of course, Meg responded like, "You stupid" or whatever, and everybody like went off. She was one of the people who was one of the ambassadors for Rihanna's line.
Yeah,
They
Fenty.
instantly cut her. And that's when Meg was they brought her on, and so they were making a statement like, no, you don't make those type of comments. So not to say that she didn't deserve it. Like all of this is if was a fifth. We don't know what the situation is, and which is why I just always would say, yeah, I mean, everybody not gonna agree with your decision. But the biggest thing is, as of right now, none of us really know what's going on. And even as the stuff has been going on, it's getting even more and more murky. Like the whole situation is starting to not make sense at all. Her best friend is on dude's side and all this stuff. So it's just making it more and more make more sense to not pick a side, because it's like now some of her credibility in this is also being questioned. But it's just which is perfect reason why I won't pick a side in this.
Yeah, because
I would hate for.
I was about to say, yeah, that's just like me saying,
lying.
like, yeah, like you were saying, I'm still not saying bro is innocent. It's just like you said, I'm honestly under the belief. It's just like I'm not personally attached to it, so I don't have to believe either one of them. It's one that's like you said, so two things can be right.
Yeah.
And
but I understand the time. I do understand.
Yeah, I'm about to say I still understand Thomas, like Kelvin's like point. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not mad at him. Like, oh, bro, you bugging. Like, no, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
I really don't feel like I chose a side either, though. Like I know
You already said you did. You clearly said.
You chose.
You clearly just said.
You
clearly said you did. Like, what are you talking about? What are we talking about here?
If anybody chose a side, you chose a side.
I mean, what makes it that I chose a side? Because
you completely ex bro out. Like we always listen to Tory Lanez.
You literally just said I wouldn't listen to his music because of the allegations, not because of what he was convicted of or not.
So why I don't listen to her music?
But you said you're not opposed to listening to it though if somebody was to play it, or if that was like your type of music,
right?
Which means that which tells me, I mean, like,
when I see somebody listen to it, I'll be like, yo, turn it off, my brother. You got to understand,
brother. I think you would. I think you would shake your head and say. I think you would shake your head and say. I would think, like I picture it, and I just picture you going. Come on, brother. See, you the reason our black women are down. Like,
turn that off. Turn that bullshit off. I can see you saying that. And I want to say you even said over like a phone conversation, you said he's canceled in this house.
You did.
So that's definitely fake.
He said, we will not play that jigaboo.
You didn't say that. Those were your, I want to say exact words. He said he is canceled in this house.
I mean, who's going to listen to it? Kiara listening to it?
All I'm saying.
Dame listening to it? No.
We was rocking out to that one song we used to play every time. You was like, oh, this is nice. Haven't heard you play. I'll be checking.
I still listen to that joint. That what is it? That I'm about to look it up now. What is it?
What?
But if he did that, hey,
yeah.
I hope you go sit and rot in that motherfucker.
Yeah, he got to.
However long they want you to sit, go ahead. But if he didn't, which I'm really, it's really not a great thing if she's lying, because that shit sets us back so far.
That's why I say I feel like it's a lose-lose, like everybody's in the situation, because you have somebody that's gonna end up losing time. Some won't see their father, and then this happened to, like you said, our black women. And then on the flip side, if she's lying, then it's kind of like that he said, she said, and then you got a person who's not gonna get their image back, because once you persecuted by the media, like, you're not getting that back. Like, because there's still gonna be people, even if he's found innocent, they're gonna be like, man, he did that. He paid somebody to, he paid him off. So it's a lose-lose situation.
Facts.
Hey, Josh, it's that I ain't been broke in a minute.
Hey, that broke in a minute, man. Like I said, we used to listen to that every weekend. I haven't. Hey, all I'm saying, I haven't seen Tory pop up.
Now he been broke in a minute.
He started to be. Well, I got money, so.
Right. Hey, man, that's crazy though, man. It's, like I said, that situation is just, it's cringy, because like I said, it's no winning in this situation. If he did it, then it's like, you stupid
bro. When you was winning,
and if she lied, you like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's my only thing.
You just
like,
threw out all the credibility of women.
Like Joe Budden them talked about it and touched on it like perfectly. It's like, bro, like, you was literally in a pandemic, as they call it. You had the quarantine radio was going crazy, bro. Like, you had just got independent, was rolling stuff out, making all this money, then the situation happened. So it just kind of like, damn, if you did that, that could really be the biggest fumble the bag I've seen.
Yeah. And not to mention the biggest reason why I say it's not really wise to pick a side in this situation. If you really pay attention to the situation, like leading up to it, I don't follow neither one of them. I don't follow a whole lot of celebrities anyway on social media, but I do have Twitter and Instagram and all that. And it seemed like for like the whole time quarantine was going on, I mean, the whole time, like the beginning of COVID, it was him, her, and the other Kardashian or whatever girl.
Oh, yeah.
What was it? Kylie? Is it? Yeah, Kylie. Her. They was with each other, like hanging out every day. So I was like, the reason why I'm like, something don't sound right, because why would y'all, they look like best friends damn near. So, and I'm just like, what the fuck happened? What could have happened for a situation like that to really, you know what I'm saying? Where you went from, that's my best friend, to you like pretty much causing severe bodily harm to somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, it had to be some, like, and especially neither one of them is telling really anything of a story. Even though she's saying, oh, he shot me. She ain't saying nothing else out of that. He's saying, I ain't do it, but he ain't telling no real story behind it. That's why I'm like, it's so much more that's gonna come out from it, or they might not say nothing at all, but it's so much more to the story that both of them probably gonna be embarrassed by if it actually comes out. So that's why I'm like, cause don't let me find out they both coked up and drunk as hell and all that stuff, and they was tripping and playing and somebody got shot. Now it's like, oh, so y'all just being dumbasses. You know what I'm saying? Not, oh, he's some vicious, you know what I'm saying, animal that attacked a black woman for no reason at all. Like that. What if that's the situation? If that's the situation where where both of y'all could have been potentially harmed because y'all was being stupid, then why do I? Once again, we just fell into that whole thing where we talking about black men don't protect black women. That was a situation where y'all just being two rich dumb idiots. You know, so that's the only thing where I'm like, it just don't. I like it. The situation. If anybody can really look at that situation. Like look at like how cool they was and how they was with each other like every other day, and still think that like, oh, the story is just black and white. They got into an argument. He pulled out a gun and shot her. Like I don't know. That just don't sound right. It could have been, but that don't sound right for somebody who y'all was hanging out with like on the daily. That just on top of that, y'all both had so much to lose. Meg was a huge and still is a huge, you know what I'm saying, star. He pretty big himself, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what sense would it make to throw it all away over just because you were a vicious animal? Like we probably would have already seen this, but who knows?
So, what's some lessons that like y'all learned that you would say that you wish you would have learned earlier?
You talking about just in life?
In life.
Oh yeah. I'll let y'all
go
first.
that nice guy shit is played out.
Okay.
And like being nice.
Like,
and it's not like you be nice. Like being nice is just so it's what January 4th of what's today? 4th of 2021.
Yeah.
And I'm just not realizing. No, that nice guy shit don't get you nowhere. Like all right, so when I say nice guy, it's like to a certain extent.
Okay.
I ain't saying be a dickhead, and I ain't saying be evil, but you know what I'm saying? Being nice, it does get you appreciated, but I don't know, take what's yours, if that makes sense. Like don't settle for nobody else's bullshit. That nice guy stuff, you kind of just like let stuff ride sometimes. You kind of just be a nice person and no.
Yeah. I feel you, but I think people misconstrue whatever the word is, misconstrue that into thinking the people. I'm not saying this is you, but I think often people think being a nice guy like entitles you to something. Like being a nice guy is like almost like something you should just be and not be expecting nothing in return for it. But that don't mean don't be a shark out here when you got to. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, like with I be seeing the people on the internet all the time, dudes be lame, so lame about it. Like, oh man, being a nice guy, y'all always want this. I'm like, bro, girls not skipping past you because you a nice guy. They skipping past you because you lame. Like that is completely different.
It definitely is different.
It is a difference, bro. Stop. Like it's dudes that really think they went and acted super nice to a girl and took her out to eat and all that stuff and bought her a whole bunch of stuff she ain't asked for and thought, oh yeah, I deserve this, and she friend zoned you. Guess what, bro? You should not have been doing that with the intent of getting something in return. You know what I'm saying? You should have figured out what this was before you went and cashed out or whatever you did. But I do think, sometimes we as people tend to be too passive because we don't want to seem
that's the good word. Passive, aggressive. Yeah, because I'm like, and you know, I'm a 5'11", 230-pound black dude, so you know you kind of trying to.
No, just went whole Dr.
So you kind of try to be passive because you don't want to come off aggressive. I'm not an aggressive person, but I would say honestly, especially in the black community, one of the biggest things I would say is take care of your mental health, man. I feel like
that's why I plan on getting on
strong.
And then
So you want me to stop this?
Yeah. Don't talk about mental health.
Yeah, we don't want to. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, that's
so
definitely
that's
what I
your
want to
thing.
talk about. All right, cool. What you
Kelvin,
got,
I'll let
Thomas
you go.
Nixon?
Me is, and to be real, I feel like I had this before, but being young and dumb, fumbled it or didn't pay attention to old heads, tried to put a nigga on. I would say investing and
That's a
networking.
good point.
Mm-hmm.
Those two things, like, that took so much. Now it's going to take so much more to catch up where you should have been if you would have just, done the minimum back then on those both of those fronts, and that's money and not money. You know what I'm saying? It's money and people.
Facts.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% on board with that one.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And I had plenty of people who told me what I should have did, or hey, put your money here, and I'm like, I'm gonna go buy these J's, I'm gonna go buy these whatever, and I mean, I've since gotten my somewhat together, but if I could, that's definitely what I wish.
I'm about to say you
or them expensive watches.
You see them. Well, actually, I heard watches are actually a good investment. Like they
depend on
it's
the
like
watch though.
Yeah. Hey, so my G-Shock is not right. Got it.
Yeah, I'm about to say you see Bitcoin just shot up, but yeah.
It's stocks is something we can get into later, but yeah, that's definitely it's a way to play it.
Responding to TJ, I was about to say the nice guy thing, like I agree to a certain extent because I went through my little phase where I felt like I was getting messed over by the world, and I, to me, try to become somebody I'm not because I'm genuinely just feel like I'm a nice person. So when I tried to not be a nice person, like I felt I was causing myself more like harm and pain. Like I just like didn't feel right to a sense. And that's when I realized that. But I do realize at work, and I told somebody this, like I feel I'm successful because I'm likable. Not because of the work I do, not because of that comes second. It's because I've realized that if I smile, if I tell jokes, if I become likable, people off rip just be like, oh, this is so fun to be around. He's a great worker. He's this. But if I'm quiet and if I just do my job, but do it even better than what's expected, then still it's like, oh, he's okay. But I've also learned that I'm still working to try to balance that because there's been times where I've been at work and I give all that energy that when I come home, I don't even have enough to give to my family. And that's when I realize it becomes a problem because that's creating problems at my home because I feel I don't have to smile at my house if I don't want to. It's kind of like, but nothing's wrong. But
your social battery then ran out by the time you got home.
Facts.
So you don't got that same energy to be the same preppy guy and all that. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I would tell you though. I would think. I'm pretty sure you know this, but I mean, I think you probably a little bit more successful for more than just being likable. But being likable definitely, I think being likable, your likability, because we worked like next to each other, it makes people want to give you the opportunity to do other things. But you gotta the stuff they've given you, you had to cash that check in. You know what I'm saying? You had to, put in that work to get, to continue to be successful. Because there's plenty of likable people that walk around and then you give them something and they fumble it, and I mean they just a likable guy and they go sit in another spot. So
that's true. That's true.
And then my second thing is what I wish, like you guys said, the first thing is definitely like investing, and two, just acting on everything I should have done. Like, you know how long it's been since we talked about starting this podcast and stuff? Like, we could have been 5 years in now. Like, that's like one of the biggest things. And like talking with Thomas, like he even like said some like dope things to me because he be watching those investors stuff. And like, the goal is to get this platform as successful as possible for all of us, where we all can use it. But I am smart enough to know that to create generational wealth, I won't see any of that money. Like, to be millionaires, my son probably won't. But the goal is for his sons, his kids, and to create that generational wealth to where like I have something to leave. But I do know like I probably won't touch that money in my lifetime, and that's okay. But the goal is to work for my kids so they can be comfortable, and then it just creates that pattern and gets out of that stigma that hey, you got to work for somebody.
And
Yeah,
Yeah.
another one
what you
of the
just
biggest
said,
things. Let me
what
go
you
again.
just said real quick,
Oh, go ahead, bro.
you just explained, I mean, what has been known for literally hundreds of years that, it's just now getting to our community, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
as I'm sorry, TJ, go ahead.
No, I was just
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
say
go ahead. Too.
one of the biggest things I will say that like I kind of like procrastinated on, and I know it's so simple, but that Nike slogan, bro, just do it. I swear to God, bro, you gonna fumble, you know what I'm saying? You gonna mess up, you know what I'm saying? You gonna have may get refunds, you know what I'm saying? This what I do is not easy and it's not perfect, but bro, you learn every step of the way. Like literally, if you was cooking or you was a chef, Josh, and I come and ask you, you know what I'm saying, how do I make the perfect pancakes? And you say, do this, do that, put the eye on level 3, and I don't know, you might make a mistake, put the eye on level 4 or something like that, and you burn the pancakes. But that lesson you learned, like by doing that, is like you can only learn that by doing it, if that makes sense. You feel what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
hands on.
Like
Like
so
most
just
people don't
by
learn nothing
just
until
doing
they.
it, like yeah, you hands on. So just do it, get out there. That's another big thing that I would say. Doing that. Yeah, just do it. Literally.
Yeah, facts. I was about to say one of the biggest things that I guess I guess in school that it was never taught. Like, of course, no finances was ever taught, but I
Right.
was never really like conditioned to be a boss. Like, I felt like I was like it was just known to like, hey, my goal was like I knew I was gonna go give me a good old 9 to 5, work 7 days a week like my pops, and retire one day. It was never like oh snap, like instead of working at McDonald's, I could probably try to invest and then own a McDonald's. And
Mm.
it's just like something that I want to teach my kids to try to be different. And I don't want to put it on them because I'm not gonna lie. After talk with Braxton, it kind of changed my mind. At first, it was kind of like, oh, my kids got to go to college. But then it was like, took me a while. I mean, I'm just about to get my degree next year, and I mean, I don't really think it's for me, but it's like kind of one of those boxes I just want to check, if that makes sense. But I honestly,
Well,
go ahead.
what did Braxton tell you? Say that now. What's that? Put me on.
What you said?
Mm, I don't know exactly what he's referring to, but it's probably I've just always said that at times when we push college on people, I think it's done incorrectly. I think one is incorrect to think that college is the only way to be successful. And now I know people
Facts.
are gonna pull out statistics and all that and show you like, hey, a person with a college degree is over a lifespan will make this much more than a person without one. That is true to an extent, but that's because most people who don't go to college at all and don't pursue other avenues, they are gearing themselves to go into the workforce and pretty much make minimum wage or somewhere around that, or eventually work themselves up to a semi successful lifestyle. But there are so
With
many
that,
trades and stuff like that out there that pay a lot of money, and on top of that, people will tend to gear their kids into just going to college and never investing into what kids actually like doing.
Facts.
So you might be telling your kid to go be a lawyer, and the whole time your kid might be the doctor type. You know what I'm saying? Just using that as an example. So now what you did was you forced this kid to go to school for this period of time. They either get through it and live a miserable life as a lawyer, or they lose motivation and drop out. You know what I'm saying? But if you invest into your kids, like future, and that's not money, that's conversation. That's you know money too, an extent, but the conversation is most important. watching them over the years. You know, if your kid, some people know their kids ain't smart at math, but want them to be a mathematician. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's the part where I say, like, you don't necessarily have to force your kids into the workforce. I think that's another thing that's done wrong. A lot of people have this idea that when kids turn 18, oh, you on your own, figure it out. I think that's the worst thing that we do in the Black community is telling kids, oh, you gonna either get a job or you gonna get out the house. No, you should be, if y'all already at that conversation, you've already, in my opinion, been failing the kid as a parent, because you probably should have already been talking to them about what kind of stuff they, what interests them, things like that, where as they get older, you can start moving them into that STEM, those type of things. Some kids, that's their lane. You know what I'm saying? You should be moving your kid to a STEM program in middle school and high school and stuff, or it's just so many different avenues than just saying, hey, go to school and get your degree. Because what you gonna tell them, go get a general studies degree and then they don't know where to go with it, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Or get a management degree and they don't know what to do with it, because they're gonna get out and they're gonna say, well, we need somebody with experience. You can't manage this place because you don't have experience. That not down in the degrees, because they will eventually work for you, I guess. But make sure that your kids know, like, if your kid want to get a management degree, then you should probably be already working towards having them, having an LLC, which I hate saying LLC because I feel like people are abusing that term, but getting an LLC or, owning a business, or even as the kid, they want to run. If you see your kid got a boss mentality, they able to, maneuver people around, you might want to get them a Kool-Aid stand when they 5, 6 years old, so they start knowing how to manage their money and stuff. But people wait until a kid 18 and be like, hey, what you gonna do? You gonna go to school or you gonna go work at McDonald's? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you don't want to do nothing? Okay, get out. Now it's sink or swim. Now when you kick a kid out at 18, what happens? They go find a job that can at least pay the bills, and they spend the rest of their life trying to get jobs that are going to pay the bills, not get jobs that's going to empower them to be a boss.
My life.
So,
brother, it was like you was right behind me the whole time.
So I guess that's my answer. I wish one thing I would have told my younger self was, because I didn't have I did have positive influences, but I didn't have people gearing me towards what I really want to do, telling myself to figure out what I like doing. Because when I was in high school, I was playing football, I was boxing, and that's all that mattered to me. Playing football, boxing. And I thought one of them was going to turn me into a professional. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't happen that way.
Well, you couldn't tell me I wasn't going
You
to the
just told
league.
the story of my life, man.
Well, didn't make that. So go ahead and move to sports. My favorite topic.
I don't know nothing about this topic.
Yeah, TJ
I'm gonna try.
TJ.
Yeah, I know, right?
We know.
Look. If we talk about Hell's Kitchen, I could tell you, but
So, first question: who y'all got for MVP?
Of what?
The league, NBA.
You talking about NFL?
NBA
or NBA?
Okay.
I'm
not gonna lie.
Like coming up this year. I mean, we only like 7 games in, but who I predict to win, so it could be 2 people. Okay. 2 people that I think for sure one of the 2 is gonna win it though. LeBron, because they're going to find a way to win a large majority of their games. And the way LeBron and AD are playing, LeBron is playing like the leader of that team, and it's showing in the statistics. Steph, I feel like, is the other person, especially after last night, could also end up winning MVP if they make the playoffs. If they make the playoffs and he, like, now he didn't kind of got his, you know what I'm saying, his herky jerky movement, that if they can, if he can average up in the 30s and they win about 50 games, well, they ain't gonna win 50, but about 45.
I got I got us in the 7th seed. I said if he averaged at least 30 minimum and get to the 7th seed, yeah, he got that MVP.
But I think it's gonna be LeBron though.
Kelvin.
because it's a good story too.
I think I kind of agree with you. I think it's out of two people, LeBron or AD. That's just point blank period with it comes. Yeah. First off, Steph Curry. No, not even close.
But why not even close though? That's so disrespectful.
Where did they? Let me tell you why not even close. Because they're going to be the worst team in the West again. Yeah, Steph Curry pulled out a tremendous game, but how many games are we in the season? It's the first time we even seen this dude, so he's going to go on another hiatus. I predict. That's me. But LeBron, if he does anything like he's been doing over the past couple of years, they are waiting to give it to him. He has done so much without getting it because they've been rewarding Giannis and other people, mainly Giannis. So I think if he does anything like what he's been doing, the narrative is he's at year 18 and he's still doing this. You know what I mean? What he came in second last year. And I think even if Giannis does everything he's done, maybe even more, they don't respect him no more. They're not going to reward him with another MVP.
Yeah, I think it's no way he gets it. Giannis gets it.
So that's LeBron getting it. I can see AD getting it because I can see him taking over. Like, yo, I'm getting the most points, rebounds, and I'm up there in assists and blocks. I think with that being said, and they're the best team, I can see it going to him, and I can see him making that leap. But I can see him doing the same thing that Giannis did last year, getting Defensive Player of the Year and MVP.
I was about to say, I would say AD over Bron if I wasn't picking Curry, just because I honestly don't think, I think LeBron is starting playing those games, but I think his minutes is just going to go down to where he does what he does every year and just save his body for the playoffs. So I have AD pretty much leading the team in the numbers and all that. But my thing is, if one of them are not healthy for the playoffs, then I'll say AD. Does the Lakers still have a chance to win the championship?
Yo, I want to put AD in a bubble, man. Like, he don't need to play until the playoffs.
Because I honestly don't have AD being healthy.
He's hurt.
No, they can't win if he's hurt. Well, are we talking about like not playing? Or are we just talking about like, oh yeah, no, they not winning. Although I love the way this team is constructed, even though I feel like what's the name shouldn't be in the starting lineup. Marcus Hall should not be starting.
Oh yeah.
But although I like him on that team, I just don't like him starting because I think it's too much clutter out there. They need to move. I know AD don't like playing center, but he needs to be playing center. They need Trez in there starting as the cleanup man, and then you know what I'm saying, down the line like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's how they're gonna close games in the playoffs.
Yeah.
About to say, who y'all got for rookie of the year?
Hold on. Who was number 2? Who got drafted number 2?
Wiseman.
And then it was what's the name? Anthony Edwards was drafted number 1. Wiseman actually looked pretty good though. I ain't gonna lie, but LaMelo actually been playing decent these last couple games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I think eventually, like as the season go by, he gonna probably end up in that starting lineup, and his stats gonna probably continue to go up as he get more confident. So I think LaMelo gonna end up being the rookie of the year.
Yeah, I think they're gonna give it to him. One, I think he's just off the strength of the name, honestly. But I also have him getting in the starting lineup because I had him trading Terry Rozier, just because he has a big contract, and since LaMelo's the future, I just have them getting rid of him.
Yeah, especially he doing good numbers, so his value gonna go up. So they might be able to get something in return. And I mean, LaMelo I always hate when people, he make everybody better, but he actually do like certain people, them high flyers, they gonna get their reps. You know what I'm saying? So Miles Bridges, he gonna get all his oops, so he gonna get more confident. He gonna play better. You know what I'm saying? So I like LaMelo for rookie of the year.
Better.
I guess I said at the beginning of the season, I think Melo, because he's gonna on a team that's not much, things to look up for this season. So they're just gonna say, "You're the future of the team. Go out and ball." And he's just gonna go
Yeah.
do that, get crazy numbers, get crazy highlights. So I see him going, but now, I mean, and that's no. I thought Wiseman went to the right team for
Facts.
for his exposure and for what the team needed. So with that being said, I think Steph Curry is, please, I need some. I don't have my other go-to guy, so I need somebody to get something. So they're giving Wiseman the keys to go out and do what you want, and he's already looking good. And this is the beginning. So I said at the beginning at the draft, I said Melo, but now I say Wiseman.
Wiseman plays so goofy to me, even though I like his game, but like sometimes he just a little too nimble. Like he's shooting that little low jumper and stuff. It just look
that
weird,
bitch barely grazing the rim, man. When he missed bad.
Yeah, but he confident. I like his game for real.
Yeah, I do like him taking that three because I definitely didn't even think he can do that. But who is y'all sleeper team? That if you had to pick a sleeper team that like, hey,
well, I don't know if they're sleeper no more, but the Hawks is definitely giving people problems.
Okay.
So I think that's the team nobody was expecting. So the Hawks and depending on if they actually trade Harden, because everybody not expecting much from the Rockets now. But if the Rockets actually keep Harden, then I feel like James Harden is a walking playoff berth. If he's on your team, you go into the playoffs.
Nah, so, I don't. No,
you know what I'm saying? And he played.
I'll let you get that off.
I mean, has he missed the playoffs? I don't think he's missed it since he's been in the league. I think
since he's been
at least with the Rockets. I don't think they every year.
Since he's been with the Rockets every year.
Yeah,
so 8 years straight.
I mean, West is different now.
So they might end up out of nowhere just full head of steam.
Man, my sleeper team, like you said, like the Hawks were doing good. I definitely didn't have them ankle cap, but it was Phoenix. When I seen Chris Paul go to Phoenix, I thought, he could do what he did with OKC. Having,
I think they're going to the playoffs.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
So if he's going to the playoffs, how y'all think which color's going to fit in?
Brother, I told you we're gonna get the 7th to 8th seed. New Orleans not going. You had New Orleans Pelicans in there. They not making it.
I want them to, but I don't think they are, man. And it's something gonna have to be done with that.
They not making it. The Grizzlies not making it, bro. Like, hey, look at you.
I love the makeup of the Pelicans, but something about them just spells mediocre.
But I will say, the only team that will mess this up for me is the Spurs. That's the only team that's gonna mess.
I don't think they're going either.
I like to, bro. I try to count them out. Besides last year was the first year that they actually didn't make it. But besides then, I've counted them out every year. It was like, oh, they ain't got nobody now. And every year they had made it.
Man, they letting Becky Hammond coach the team. They ain't really worried about that. I rock with Becky Hammond, but like, dude, purposely
that was a bold statement.
I'm just saying, Becky Hammond, look, Pop purposely getting himself kicked out of the game.
I do think that, though.
Coach.
I do think Paul's
that's the part where I'm like, all right, do you care to win? You know what I'm saying? Not saying she can't coach, but it's like, if you so involved with doing that type of stuff, y'all not putting enough pressure to like actually make the playoffs this year. So you like just watch. In like a month from now, he gonna get kicked out again, so she can coach the team. So because they want her to be able to get a coaching spot, and she probably deserve it.
But the crazy thing is, she's gonna coach the Spurs. Pop gonna retire, and they're gonna give her the keys. Watch.
Yeah. I hope that happens. Pop's one of my favorite, probably people ever, and but like I'm ready for him to pass the keys. Pass some of that money to somebody else.
I thought you was about to say you ready for him to pass. I'm about to say.
I'm ready for him to. Hey,
I rock with Popovich, but I just don't like how he overdo that grouchy shit. Like, all right, bro, we get it.
Hold on, no, man, y'all can't get that off. I said the same thing about Westbrook, and y'all said, no, that's just his demeanor.
I
a
ain't say
player
that.
though.
I'm tired of him too.
Bro, I'm telling him, it's like, come on,
I
man.
need them to take Russ. Need to be taken out back like Yeller, because he's done. He is done, man.
Hey, and if you would have, Josh, if you would have asked me at the beginning of the season, who was my sleeper team, I would have said.
Was it?
Was I wrong?
I said, and I asked people.
He ain't getting no better.
I asked people. I said, do you think Russ is gonna change his play style? Because if he doesn't change his play style, it's not gonna work. I don't care who you put with it.
They beat Brooklyn.
Yeah, but Brooklyn's still trying to figure it out. They still ain't told Kyrie to stop taking 30 shots when you only hitting 8 of them. Eventually, they're gonna tell him that to reel it back a little bit, because obviously KD should be the featured player,
and that's why I think it's not gonna work out.
He's getting his shots up.
But I mean, I feel like it's a few times where KD is like, eventually he's tired of dude taking back-to-back shots, so he comes down and makes it a point to take a shot.
Bro, I'm about to say, I watched.
It shouldn't be that way.
The last game with the Hawks, I watched for 3 straight possessions. KD didn't even touch the ball. He was in the corner like, hey, ball. Kyrie took 2, and then Harris took 1. And then on that 4th play, KD came down, dribbled, pulled up right at 3-point line. It was like, could KD do that? Can he make that shot? We seen him make it. Boom. But it was like Braxton said, like he's purposely making it.
It's frustration.
But I honestly, and that's why I don't think it's gonna work. Because again,
and that's his boy, so he's not gonna say something at least early.
He gonna do him just like he did Westbrook.
Yeah.
He's gonna be right there in that,
like a thief in the night. Kyrie gonna come downstairs. Hey, where you going? Your bag's back.
I need y'all to tell me who's gonna make the playoffs in the West. So y'all got
pull it up, brother.
Phoenix and Golden State, man.
All right, Lakers,
Clippers.
Denver. Yeah, Lakers, Clippers, Denver,
Utah,
Phoenix.
Okay, if you want to wait, how many is that? Why do we got 6 fingers? I got 5.
Well, I was about to throw up my 6th one, which was hold on, Dan, you done made me forget. So Lakers, Clippers, Denver, Utah, Phoenix,
Portland.
I don't know about Portland. I think they are mediocre. But they on the bubble. But
Houston.
Who else?
Dallas
for sure. And then I said that 8th, it's a toss up. Houston, depending on what they're gonna do. If New Orleans figure it out, if San Antonio figure it out, if Minnesota figure it out, one of them 3 teams probably gonna be fighting for an 8th seed.
I don't even have.
I
don't have Dallas make it. They're not gonna be healthy.
What?
Porzingis still gonna be Porzingis. Not finished the season. Luka, he's already starting to roll his ankle and get hurt already. He's just not gonna be healthy.
I think they're gonna.
And then I think they're gonna be, because they're gonna be on the bubble, and it's gonna be like, well, we might as well just not make the playoffs and get a top pick.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
well, name your 8th then, Josh?
All right, better pull this up. All right, so it's gonna go Clippers, Phoenix, Lakers, Utah, Golden State, no order. Portland, Denver, and possibly the Rockets.
Yeah. So basically,
did you say
basically what I was saying? The teams I said, besides like Portland, because I think I said somebody else.
I think it's 7 definite. Like, no problem. Lakers, Clippers, Utah, Denver, Portland, Dallas, Houston. I think those 7, no problem, are getting in. I know Houston is kind of the wild card, say if what's his name stay. So that could fall out. But as it stands right now, I think that's your 7. And that 8 spot is up for grabs out of Timberwolves, Phoenix, and New Orleans. One of those three, I think, will get into that 8. But Golden State, I can't see them doing anything more than they did last year.
Okay.
TJ, I'm sure you don't got nothing to say with none of this, huh?
No.
I was sure about to say, TJ, you want to add anything before we close it out?
We should have had
I agree, sure.
Hey man, next time we're gonna have to get TJ his 5 minutes to talk about a meal or something. You want to talk about
CMOS. It's gonna be CMOS.
Hey, I'm about to go take my CMOS.
I know now, brother. Done told me you've been. Hey, I see you. You was supposed to send me some, but you did. But that's another story. We'll talk about next time.
He's not telling the truth.
Yeah.
But all right, man. I appreciate you boys for stopping through. Again, we're gonna try to do it. I was thinking Monday, Wednesday, but I don't know. Depends on schedule because I know during the week people got to work, and then on the weekends people want their weekend. So, but definitely, this was dope. Definitely.
Yeah, this is definitely a good conversation. So next one we gonna start off with the mental health.
Yeah, definitely mental health.
Yeah.
Right. I want to talk about music.
Right.
So yeah,
definitely.
But actually, like music.
All right, cool.
And not so.
Yeah, not exactly. Right.
Like, comment, and share.
Yeah.
Right. I know, right?
But nah. Hey man, appreciate y'all. Love.